Welcome back, welcome back to part 4 of the factors, finding the factorization. Let me get my tongue out of the way there. In order to find the zeros of the function. So we found in that last video that B, by performing the FOIL, gave us that same function expression that I was showing you, and we knew the answer was B. So here, I would like to go over a test-taking strategy. It's almost kind of like a cheat. Um, in order for you to find that answer fairly quickly, again, these assessments, the HiSET, the GED, they are timed exams, and the goal is to get the most number of answers correct. And remember, there's no penalty for guessing. You definitely don't want to leave any of these test questions unanswered. You're better off guessing. Maybe C is usually the best guess if you have no idea what the answer is. And if you know how to solve the problems, or you think you know how to solve the problems, take your time on the problems you know how to do. That's another test taking strategy. So please check out my videos on finding zeros of functions. Watch my videos on factoring and FOIL. I have uploaded them to my account. I've made a number of different test questions on finding zeros and also factoring and some skill that you would need to know in order to factor and perform a FOIL technique. And so I find them very helpful, especially for the beginners who really have little knowledge of mathematics. Please check out those videos. So in my cheat, in my test-taking strategy here, that's a cheat, we're going to focus on the L portion, the last terms, multiplying these last terms. And hopefully you watched part 1, 2, and 3. In this part 4 video, I'm just going to focus on the L last terms that you need to multiply in order to find the particular cheat. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what that looks like, right? So each one of these, A, B, C, D, and E, we're going to use to find this value here in the original problem of the function f of x, 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So which option, A, B, C, D, when we multiply the last terms, gives me a negative 2? And again, this is kind of like a little cheat. And on these exams, this cheat that I'm about to show you is absolutely test-taking strategy is allowed. It is allowed. So let's take a look at A. We have x plus 2 inside parentheses, 2x plus 1 inside parentheses. We're just going to multiply that last term. And we're looking for that A, B, C, D, E option. When we multiply that last term, gives us that negative 2 value. So if you remember from parts 2 and 3, when we FOILed, right, our answer B gave us this entire function expression that I'm showing you here, right? And so a quick way to determine A, B, C, D, or E is to multiply those last terms. And I know that 2 times 1, showing you here, is a positive 2. Is positive 2 a negative 2? No, it is not a negative 2. So I'll move on to B. And you can see here, hopefully, let me check my alignment. Okay, hopefully you can see here that in B, we multiply those last terms. A negative 2 times a positive 1 gives you a negative 2. Well, is negative 2 that last term in the original expression, which is what we're looking for? Yes, I can stop. I can answer B because I will know that negative 2 is the correct answer. However, I do want to warn you, there may be another C, D, or E that gives us that negative 2 value. So what would that mean? That mean that you would have 2 answers after multiplying the last term, that gives you a negative 2. And if you don't know how to solve these problems, you would be able to guess correctly. And at the very least, you narrowed it down to a couple of possibilities, right? A, B, C, D, or E. Some of those would be eliminated. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at C. Negative 2 times a negative 1 is a positive 2. All right, it's not a negative 2, so I'm going to keep going. D. Option D. Positive 2 times a positive 1 is a positive 2. I'm looking for that negative 2 answer, so eliminate D, eliminate C, eliminate A. It cannot be any of those answers, right? Let's check out E. We have a negative 2 times a negative 1, which is a positive 2. None of these, A, C, D, or E, is a possibility. You have your answer B, right? And again, if C, D, E, or A had another negative 2, it would be a 50% guess. And you could guess the answer correctly, most likely. Most likely. And if you know how to do the problems, then you would know you would have 2 to choose from. And after foiling correctly, you would know the correct answer. So I'm hoping that this kind of cheat on the exam for a multiple option answer exam helps you out. This cheat is going to be very valuable in saving you some time if you have a question like this on the HiSET or the GED exam. I want to thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. I appreciate any donations or gifts, stars, to help me to continue to bring these videos to you and to others. Hey, if you like these videos, please like, follow, and share with as many people as possible. Help me reach 10,000 views, 10,000 likes, and 10,000 followers. Thank you for your time. Math is easy. Take it step by step.